limited area. I don't believe there's been an extensive amount of TV work done on the system. And to find your problem areas, you really need to go into an active program. And part of what we talked about, I believe if we can start putting some money away to start looking at the infiltration inflow problem into the future, I think that's one way of doing it.
You're talking service lines. You're talking about like from residential customers, one thing and another.
Yes.
Well, you know, you'd have a lot of those infiltrating or needing repaired as opposed to one large main. Anyway,
That's true.
Wouldn't you? So the odds are pretty good that there wouldn't be so much of a problem with the service lines.
Actually, they're both the same age.
Right.
And you'll probably find that there are probably more problems with the service line than there is with the main line. The service lines quite often are installed by multiple people at multiple times, and probably don't have the review of construction review that maybe the main line do.
But those service lines aren't going to be the responsibility of the city, though, are
No,
they?
they're not.
No.
So there we've got a little difference in dollars, then, too.
But they're much more difficult to line and fix, too.
Right.
But I'm not saying it's not worth doing. It is worth doing.
Right.
The best bang for your buck is find out where your biggest problems are and solving those. You really can't afford to go in and redo your whole system by any means, but find the problem areas and fix those.
Okay.
And frequently there are large problems in one spot, where you might have a large building with roof drains hooked into the system. And fixing that helps a tremendous amount. Typically in a really bad system that goes from really bad to really good, you can get about a 20% benefit. No more or less than just kind of a guesstimate, but that gives you some idea what it's worth doing. So.
Thank you for your questions.
To answer your one question, that's kind of what we're looking at. We're looking at the whole picture instead of just the whole thing's got to be fixed, and you want to start with a plan to fix it right and one step at a time.
There you go.
Are there any other questions or discussion, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank
Appreciate
you for
it.
your time. I will be in touch with you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Well, the slip side on that
Thanks,
moat.
be careful now. I don't think you'll find the roads too good, so.
Okay, thank you.
Interesting.
Okay. We'll move on
So
to,
should we talk about,
we can,
bring them up
yes,
to date on what happened,
yes.
why they showed up?
Well, the committee got together and just decided that we were not comfortable with it, and we put a stop on Snyder and Associates. And was it Jim, you want to talk about, who asked Mr. Keel to come?
Well, kind of a combination. We asked Neil Kill to come in and talk to us about it, and we met with him for almost 2 hours. And he did give us a couple of different options. He asked us not to put out to the public, any cost estimates or anything like that until he had a chance to come and visit to the council also. So, but there are some other options out there, and they are a lot cheaper. So I think we need to continue visiting with both Keel and Pyre and Snyder's to see our best option.
And the reason we asked him is because they originally built the plant, and we thought maybe they had some ideas about what we could do to do repairs to the plant as opposed to tearing it all apart and almost starting over inside. And he had some suggestions, but he did say with careful consideration that he had not really done a complete study of it, but he felt like it could be done for less money than what had been proposed at $7.5 million. So I'm with Jim. I think we should
Just
look
need
at
to
all of our
continue.
options. And we talked to Alvin and Bob and ask their opinions. And when he was speaking about pinpointing areas where the water is infiltrating, well, we've done that. We know where a lot of the water is coming from, and it's a lot of water. And they're wanting to treat it all and make the plant big enough to treat it all. And we're thinking that if we could stop some of that, we wouldn't need to treat as much water. So that was part of the discussion.
And one of the reasons they want to treat all the infiltration is every time we go over the 1.1 million design, it is a violation. So we get hit with a violation every time we go over the 1.1 million. And we can't meet the ammonia standards. You would think the more water coming in, the easier it would be to meet the ammonia standards. Well, that's not true, because you have to have 85% removal throughout the plant. Well, if your ammonia is at 40, it comes in at 10, you have to have 40 or 85% removal from 10, you can't do it. So that puts you in violation again. So, you know, I can see where Snyder's was coming from, but after talking with Keel and Pyre, I do believe there is some better options and come up with the same solution.
One thing I'd like to point out too, it's going to be a community going to have to help on this, because every sanitary or storm, what do you call it, Earl?
Footing tile.
Footing tile.
Footing tile.
Everyone is
Footing
hooked
tile.
into the sanitary, so where's the cost to it? And we're going to probably end up smoking all that, and they're going to have to realize that they're part of the problem.
The public's going to have to put some input on this. I mean, it's either going to cost them this much or it's going to cost them this much. And the bigger bang for their buck is to disconnect their sanitary sewers or their sump pumps or their roof drains, footing tile.
Can't that be arranged so that they have to?
Well, you got to find them.
You gotta find
Well, I
it.
think you could probably find
And the ones
them.
that we have found, fix them.
Yeah?
Bob fixed quite a few where we found some, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, there's been some
We
where
spoke last
they've
year.
had to replace their sewers, like from the house clear out to the main. That they've dug them up, we found them, and I says, "Whoop, guys, you run your sewer line, you put in a tile and a pump and something, and pump that." I said, "You get that out of the sanitary." And the people have been really good about it. You get some growling. Everybody growls when it costs you money, and I don't care if it's all of you guys, myself, or any of these people here. If it's going to cost you money, yeah, you're going to growl a little bit, but the public has been good about it. I've talked with them. They put in tiles, they put in pumps, they've done alternative things with these footing tiles. But you know, that's a few. We have hundreds left.
I'd say every house that was built from the 50s till 79 or 80 is dumping into the sanitary sewer, other than the ones that fixed it.
I made mention the day that we had the meeting, and I went and got a couple of the papers. I hope everyone in town, or half the people, read the Des Moines paper, seen these drawings, and you know, they're right there, they're explicit. It shows what a combination line is, where the sanitary and excuse me, the storms together with an overflow, and then it shows footing tiles and etc. I hope everyone's seen that, and if they didn't, make mention to them. This was like a week ago.
Dale,
And-
can Dale get a
It's a real good
contact him
article.
and run it, you know, get a, whatever you do through the copyright deal, whatever, reprint
I
it?
can do. Never know.
It was pretty good.
So it's really good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to have an education process with this.
You know, maybe if
Yeah.
the people seen more of that, maybe it may help.
Pay me now or pay me later. They can pay $400 at one time, or they can
And
pay
the
50
article
bucks
is
for 20
stemming
years.
from the city of Des Moines. I mean, they got problems, big problems, and dollar-wise more than what we have. But they're starting to do it. They're raising the rates. There's just not nothing else they can do, you know. And
If you start talking $50 a month increase in sewer,
Well-
I think people would comply pretty quick, you know.
Right.
I've done a couple of them where they had problems, and basically just put a sump outside the house. You don't have to do anything in the house. You just redo the pipes right there and put a sump outside the house and put a pump in it. That's it.
What kind of cost are you looking at?